From the Fidelity Bank Foundation studio, PBS Kansas presents One-on-One with Victor Hogstrom.
The legacy we build is the future we inhabit. This is where the builders, dreamers, and leaders gather to share the lessons of a lifetime and the hope for tomorrow. On this edition of One-on-One, my guest has built a remarkable career on numbers, managing the credit and approval process for over 10,000 real estate transactions in the high-stakes world of Southern California. But it was a journey of the heart that would come to define her true mission. That journey belongs to Valerie Van de Zilver. When she became the primary caregiver for her own mother, her decades of financial expertise transformed into a powerful new calling. She became a senior home coach and dedicated her work to guiding families through the same emotional and logistical maze she navigated herself. Now, as the host of the radio show Always Ageless, Van de Zilver is a nationally recognized advocate turning her personal promise into a public service. So get ready for an inspiring half hour as I go one-on-one with Valerie Van de Zilver right now. Hello and welcome to One-on-One. I'm Victor Hogstrom, and I'm excited to welcome Senior Advocate Valerie Van de Zilver to the program. Valerie, it's a pleasure to have you, coming all the way from Southern California.
I did, yes. Thank you very much for having me.
Just to be on this show, right?
I did, yes. Absolutely. It's an honor being here with you.
Thank you for being here. But you grew up in Indiana, born and raised,
yes.
And then moved to Southern California when in your early 20s.
Yes, very early 20s.
And you've lived there all of your life.
I have, yes.
So in your professional career, where you were involved in real estate sales and loans, it switched because of a certain circumstance. You switched and reshaped your career. Tell us about that switching and the reshaping.
My parents both lived to be old. My mom's still alive. And as they got older and I became more involved in having to make decisions, especially for my dad, I had to decide where he was going to, where he needed to stay, and being in and out of the hospital would make decisions for him, and they'd call me and say, you have to move your dad today. And it occurred to me that there must be other people my age who had aging parents that must be having to go through these same things. And was pretty frustrating. There were no resources, nobody to tell me what to do. And honestly, most of us didn't think that our parents would still be alive that long. My dad lived until the day before his 99th birthday, and my mom will be 106 next week, and she's still alive. So I'm having to be involved in those decisions for them. And then as their friends grew older, their children were calling me and saying, what did you do? So I felt that I saw a need for that gap between helping them in their home and their medical care and so forth, for helping older people and their families make decisions that were best for them, not only their housing, but their transportation, their finances. And at that point, I decided that I really wanted to focus more on the senior population and their families and helping them all have a great life.
So what happened then to the real estate business?
I still do real estate, but not so much focusing on getting people to sell their homes, because we know that everybody thinks they want to stay in their home forever. But because of circumstances, some is that their health changes and they need at some point to go where they have more care. At some point, people may have to go into a care community, but they want to stay in their homes as long as possible. So my job now is to helping people age in place, whatever that place may be. Mm-hmm. And if it's the home that they've lived in for all of their years and they don't want to move, then we help them make that home more comfortable, more safe, where they can be there longer, and it's a good situation for them, not just having to sell their home.
Valerie, you were a nationally recognized advocate, and you turned your personal promise into a service. First, tell us, what is that personal promise that you turned into that service?
My personal promise is to be a senior home coach and a senior advocate. And by that, it's to do these things. I have a heart for making sure that everyone is protected. Mm-hmm. So to make sure that whatever advice they get, they receive, is what's best for them and their family, not what's best for the real estate agent who would rather sell their home than not sell their home. So whether they need to go into a assisted living community, or they need to go into a care community, or they need to change their home to be better for them to be aging in place, that is what my promise is. My promise is to do what is best for the seniors and their families, to help them understand, to educate them and empower them to live in a way that's best for all of them, because helping their families adjust from these situations is also difficult.
You mentioned that your mother is 106 years old in this month, October.
October 18th.
Right. Did that surprise you?
Yes. Yes. My dad died the day before his 99th birthday, and they had been married 78 years. And Mom married Dad when she was 19. Mm. And so we didn't think she'd survive without Dad. So we started going there every night. Well, we're still going there almost every night. But it's been surprised all of us that she's still around. She's one of 16 children. She's number 8, and she's the only child still alive.
But she lives by herself, you told me.
She does. She lives by herself, cares for herself, feeds herself, dresses herself.
Cooks for herself?
Yes.
Cleans her own home?
Yes. Well, we have a house cleaning crew that goes over.
Wow.
And she has a companion that comes a couple hours a week. And Mom says that nobody knows how to make a bed anymore, so she has to teach them how to do that.
Oh, gee. They come for bed making lessons.
Yes. They
so
do.
What is your role in your mother's life today?
Keep her company, keep her safe, make sure she's safe and she's taken care of and that she's comfortable. My mom depends on me being there, not on me being there every minute of the day, but she needs to know that I'm always available to her. Right. And that's my role. If my mom needs anything, she calls me. She knows I'll be there for her.
So how do you see yourself today now, as a caretaker or as a realtor, or just describe your new role in life?
For my mom, I'm certainly her caretaker. And we know now, it used to be that we thought that caretakers were paid caretakers. But now, because so many of us have aging parents, we are unpaid caretakers. And actually, that's a really big issue in this society right now. We'll stick with my story. But so for my mom, actually, I am a caretaker because I make sure that she has everything that she needs. I'm an unpaid caretaker. And that's an issue with a lot of families, but we all are living with that.
Do you help others?
I help others figure out what's best for them and how they can best take care of their family members, yes.
Okay. So how have the core values from your Midwestern upbringing influenced your role today?
Oh, very much. When I was 8 years old, I won a talent contest. And so I learned that I had to practice and be on stage and compete and work very hard for that. And that was my mom's doing. My mom brought me into that. And then after that, in order to go to church camp, which was all of $8 a week, I had to earn the money because we didn't have enough money. And I sold scrap metal on Saturdays, and I sold chocolate chip cookies door to door to earn my $8. And in high school, I worked at the new Sears Roebuck store in our small town in Indiana. And I discovered that if I worked hard, I could afford to buy the same clothes as the rich girls had. All I had to do was work. Mm. And that was a total revelation to me, that if I would work, I could have the things that the other girls had. So that's always carried with me. not always that I wanted to buy things, because it wasn't all about the money. I also worked so that I could send my brother on a singing tour to Europe, and I gave him that money. But I found that by working, that money became my ability to give back. I like being generous, I like sharing, and I'm able to do that when I work hard.
Mm-hmm. So coming back to today, what would you say then is the single most challenging aspect of your caregiving experience?
Oh, it's managing expectations, because we as a population don't know what to expect. I don't know how long my mom's going to live, so I don't know how much money I'm going to need. I don't know if she's going to fall today or not. My mom wants to be by herself. Most adults who are older still want to be on their own. They don't want their children in their lives. They don't want us meddling in their life. They want to be independent and be on their own. So my job with my mom and the other families is to help everyone figure out a way to navigate that situation. Your mom may want to be alone, but she needs someone. So it's my job to come to you and help you see from the outside how this works, and help you see her side and her to see your side, and come up with some way for it to be satisfactory for both.
So tell me, let's play a role. If I had an aging parent,
yes,
what advice would you give me?
Well,
taking care of that person.
First of all, it depends on their physical needs. What are they able to do?
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, it's how close are they to you? And if not close to you, then what do you need to do for maybe their medical needs? Do they need to live close to where their doctors are? Do they need to live close to you because they can't live in Indiana and you live in Wichita? So maybe those things need to be brought together. So at that point, it's medical, it's physical, and then it's societal. People don't want to be lonely. They don't want to be alone. So how can we keep them with other people so that they have other people to be connected with and to keep them company?
Mm-hmm. So what is the first step any family should take when a parent needs more help?
They should look at their budget, look at what they're able to do. If money is a problem, then maybe you need to have a family caregiver, and maybe they need to live with you for a while. Maybe you need to then change the dynamics of your own home. So in California, for example, we're allowed now to add what's called an ADU, an auxiliary dwelling unit. So maybe you can turn some part of your home into a place that we used to call granny flats, right? So where they can come and live with you. Right. So the first thing is to find out what is their physical ability, and do we need to bring them closer? Are they safe? Do they need medical? Do they need money? What are those things that are most important to them? And then what do they want?
So how do you advise families to begin the difficult conversation about life's transition?
Find out, first of all, what your family wants, what your parents want. Mm-hmm. And then from that, because what they want may be possible, but it may not be what you want. So then you have to say, well, I would rather mom go into an assisted living home because then I don't have to worry about her. Right. But maybe that's not what she wants. So first of all, you have to find out what they want, what can they afford, what can they physically do. And that really is the first conversation, because ultimately it's about them. We had a conversation this morning, actually, that their age doesn't define their humanness. We're all continue to be human and alive and still have interests and things that we love doing. And that doesn't change no matter how old we are. So they also need to be respected for what they want to do.
Valerie, what is it that most people do wrong when it comes to caring for a loved one with dementia?
That is a very difficult situation. One thing would be to not know how to talk to them. So for example, if I come to you and you say, oh, I want to see Uncle Joe, rather than me saying, oh, I'm sorry, Victor, Uncle Joe died 10 years ago. I would just say, I understand. Yes, that would be nice to see him. Well, why don't we sit down and put together a puzzle right now? So mistakes they make are how you communicate to them. Being aware of their situation, but how you communicate with them so that you don't make them angry, don't make the situation worse.
Okay, on this program, we like to have a little bit of fun.
Oh, good. Let's have some
with
fun.
a little game.
All right.
And I have one for you.
All right.
I'll start a sentence and you finish it with the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
If credit scores had personalities, the 800 Club would be?
Happy.
Okay. Why happy?
Because they have great credit scores.
Okay, yep, that's probably true.
They'd be high achievers. They'd be happy, and they would feel unbeatable.
The next one is the celebrity I'll most want to help find a house is?
Celebrity I most want to find a house is Ruth McCartney.
Why Ruth?
She's a lovely lady, 96 years old, the stepmom of Paul McCartney.
Mm-hmm. You interviewed her on your show.
I interviewed her just a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
She lives near Los Angeles Airport, and I would love to help her find a house. She's someone I'd love to have that experience with.
All right, because you do a radio show, in fact, you do 2 radio shows.
I do, yes.
The first one is called?
Always Ageless.
And the second?
SoCal with Val.
Southern California, South Cal.
SoCal, yep, Southern California with Valerie.
Val.
Yep.
Okay, so if my radio microphone could talk, it would tell you, I secretly blank.
On either show?
Yes.
I secretly want to interview Dick Van Dyke.
One of my favorite characters.
Yes, and he's 99 years old.
Right.
So he could be perfect for my Always Ageless show. Mm-hmm. And because he lives in Southern California, he could be perfect for SoCal with Val. And he also recently went through the fire experience in the Malibu.
Right,
fires.
right.
And I would love to interview Dick Van Dyke.
Wow, this is a good choice. I'd like to listen to that interview.
Yes, I'll tell you, yes, yes. He's on my list.
The one food from the Midwest that Southern California desperately needs is?
Homemade pies.
Homemade pies.
Mm-hmm. I grew up with church potlucks,
mm-hmm.
right? And the women always made pies, and we have pie shops, but nothing like a homemade pie.
The strangest thing I've ever seen at an open house was?
Oh my.
You know, you show a lot of houses.
I do.
Yeah.
Probably the strangest thing I've seen is some of the homeowners who are still there and don't think they should leave for an open house.
Oh, okay.
That would be pretty strange. Or strange animals, a snake.
Oh, that's scary.
A snake, or a loose lizard.
Right. My go-to karaoke song is? You laugh.
I started to say, Love, Love Me Do. That's a Beatles song.
Mm-hmm. Can you sing it?
Not well.
Try it, let's hear it.
Oh my
Give
goodness.
it a shot.
Love, love me do.
Mm-hmm.
You know I love you.
All right.
I'll always love you, so please love me do.
You did good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Every house has a secret.
Yes.
The craziest one I ever suspected was?
Craziest one I ever suspected was something in an attic. A collection of records, actually, that was in someone's attic that had been there for years, and I don't think anyone even knew it was there. I think we discovered it.
Wow.
The family didn't even know. Originals, Beatles records, things like that. I think that the father had been involved in a radio show or something, and nobody even knew it was there.
Wow, those must have been worth a fortune.
They must have been.
Yeah.
Very tempting, yes, yes. Yes, they were.
The most surprising, difficult part of downsizing is getting rid of
The things that you think you need. The things that you think you need.
what are some of those things that people think they need and they really don't?
Oh, well, things that have been given to you. So you feel that this was given to me, so therefore it has a special meaning. And the person who gave it to me must know, of course, that I'm getting rid of it, right? We don't even know where they are anymore, right? But that person must know. So I couldn't possibly give this away because this person gave it to me. And so that's very difficult. I think that's one of the hardest parts, is giving away things that someone gave to you.
Right.
So you think that that's important. Wedding presents, for example. Oh, this was a wedding present. We never used it.
Right.
Never once used it. But it was a wedding present. And we've been married 48 years, so we must need it because someday we might need it, right? We might use it.
So why would one become so attached to something like that?
That's a really good question, isn't it? Good question.
All right, the next one is, the one piece of advice I'll give my 20-year-old self is?
Never give up and keep going. Don't doubt yourself, and don't allow yourself to believe you can't do it.
Right. Good advice.
And that has carried me through so much, so many times that I've gone through so many situations. I would never have believed, number one, that those opportunities would have been even available to me. And number two, that I would have been able to achieve them and been able to advance onto something else and be where I am today.
My final game question.
All right.
If I had a superpower, it would be?
My superpower would be to protect everybody, to make sure, to be kind to everybody, to make sure that no one is taken advantage of, that anyone who wants to buy a house or anyone who wants to find a senior living community, that everyone is taken care of and only good things happen to them. That's what I would want to be.
So coming back to your mother, who is 106 years old.
Yes.
When you turn 106, what would you expect in terms of caregiving?
From my family members?
Uh-huh.
I hope that, first of all, because we're going through this, over 10,000 people a day are becoming 65. And in 2030, there will be more people on this earth over 65 than there are under 18. So we're having to adjust our whole population and how we live because of this dynamic. So I hope that by the time I'm 106, that I'll be more self-sufficient and that I will be aware of the things that that I need to do sooner so that I'm ready to be 106. Walk more, right? Do small exercises, chair yoga, and don't expect people to come to me, that if I want to socialize, I need to go out and be in those groups.
Describe for us the most important home modification for seniors that you would suggest.
No rugs,
Ah.
number one. And number two is lighting. And number three, I'll call them grab bars, but grab bars now are decorative, and you would put them maybe along your hallway walls. But first of all, take out your rugs. Majority of home falls are because of slips on rugs. And number two is lighting. You can have lighting now that, what we call task lighting. So kitchen, bathrooms, hallways.
How has today's real estate market uniquely impacted senior homeowners?
In Southern California, the number of homes being built, are closer together and 3 stories tall.
Oh.
So that's definitely a problem. Making the homes that are desirable and more older adult fit are single-story homes. Almost no single-story homes are being built. So that's a problem, definitely a problem. And if you have a 3-story home, that just doesn't work for aging parents, just doesn't. Some 3-story homes now have elevators and they're elevators that are much easier put inside a home than ever used to be. So that is a big problem, is the size of homes being built and the way that they're arranged on the lots. And so some builders will build a 55-plus community, but that's not enough.
And that would be one-level homes.
One-level homes. Or two or three-level condominiums with elevators.
What key resources do families most often overlook when planning for senior care?
Saving money. But from resources is going to be the types of caregiving that's available, thinking that they have to have a full-time caregiver or that they have to put their loved one into a senior living community or into a nursing home because they don't. There are a lot, we were talking to, there are some companies, for example, that if my mom could live by herself, but she needed someone to come and maybe help her with her bathing just for an hour a day, there are companies that will do that. So I think that families need to be more aware of what's available, and they need people like us, quite honestly, who aren't looking for a commission as much as we're looking for being their advocate. So I think finding a true advocate is that's overlooked.
So Valerie, I'd like for you to look back on your career.
Yes.
Thus far.
Yes.
Because you're still employed,
I still work.
Active, yes.
Yes.
What professional achievement are you most proud of?
Honestly, maybe the first one, because it opened my eyes to the opportunities available to me. I won a Salesperson of the Year award, and the trophy still says the Salesman of the Year. So that was, I was the first woman to ever win that. I was the first woman to then go on the next year to win the Sales Manager of the Year award. And I'm still the only one who's ever won both of those awards, and the only female. So it's not so much the female part, but it showed me that was possible. And then I went on to win other awards that I might not have even thought were possible if I had not won in those.
So finally, my final question that is, what is the one message you hope every family hears about the aging journey?
Do not let age define you or your loved ones, and don't think that because someone turns 65, they're old. Be always ageless. Be bold, be always ageless. Look for opportunities to live an amazing life, and don't let anyone or anything or any entity define you as an old person just because you crossed a certain age line.
Valerie Van de Zilver, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your views on One-on-One. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
And thank you for watching. If you have a question or comment, well, you know the drill. Email us at oneonone@kpts.org. Until next time, I'm Victor Hogstrom. Stay connected and stay empowered. We'll see you again soon.